Hi there! You may have noticed a tiny detail that keeps appearing in some of my watercolor paintings. This little yellow umbrella. I've hesitated for a long time to talk about this series because these are probably the most personal paintings I've ever made. But today I think I'm finally ready to share it with you. It actually started with a worldwide art challenge called Inktober. So throughout October 2023, I challenged myself to paint one tiny watercolor every day based on a predefined prompt list. It was also a year of big changes for me. I quit my job, stepped away from the career I knew, and moved to a completely new city. Painting tiny watercolors had always been my little escape. Peaceful landscapes, tiny objects, they made me feel good and helped me slow down. But I never really thought about painting how I felt. Then came the prompt for day 30. Rush. I painted a person standing in front of a heavy storm. She probably should be running away, but she just stands there holding her yellow umbrella and watching the storm come. For the first time, I put myself into the painting. That little person was me. I liked this painting so much, I later made a slightly larger version of it. You know that feeling when you just don't want some memories to fade away? I really wanted to record what I had been through at that time, and all the feelings that came with it. I kept thinking about this little yellow umbrella, so I started bringing it into my paintings. And that's how this series started. This is the first one. At that time, everything that had happened over the past year still felt a little unreal to me. And there she is, a little lost in the middle of it all. So what do you see when you look at it? This one is still a little hard for me to look at. A dead-end corner, a wet floor, cold concrete walls, everything feels a little uncomfortable. But I love all these colors above her head. At that moment, I felt pretty stuck at my job, and I forced myself to do work. So there was full of different voices in my head, doubts, ideas, all at the same time. This one is actually my favorite and probably the messiest. I tried to put two different worlds into this tiny painting. An upside-down world of concrete buildings and another one filled with trees. Can you see both of them? These concrete buildings are actually where I lived. Looking at it now, I guess I had already made my choice, move to a new city and get closer to nature. This one is a bit harder to explain. It feels like the water is turning into all these different colors. It could be anything, and that's exactly how I felt after all those changes. I decided to explore a completely new career and see what I could create for myself. It felt so refreshing, like everything was open again. I like the calm atmosphere of this one. The warm colors make me want to just sit there and do nothing for a while. I think I was learning to be more patient at that time, like a little pause before starting something new. And I started to feel a little bit more clear about what I want. And the last one, where's the tiny person? Maybe she already walked away and left the yellow umbrella behind. At that point, I didn't really know what would come next. So many possibilities were waiting for me. So maybe this one is to be continued. These 6 are the ones that feel the most connected to me, but I actually made quite a few more. Some were just little ideas I wanted to try, and some ended up looking completely different. And a little fun fact about the yellow umbrella. I actually thought about changing its color for each painting, but I was watching How I Met Your Mother a lot at the time, so I just kept it yellow. I didn't really have any rules for this series, I just painted whatever came to mind. And then, at some point, I just stopped painting this series. But from time to time, I still bring this little yellow umbrella back when there's a moment I want to remember. It's almost like leaving a tiny note to myself. And this is the newest one, the Rain Ripples painting that made so many of you ask about the yellow umbrella again. I'm still a little nervous sharing this series, and I hope you liked it. Maybe you see something completely different in these paintings, just tell me in the comments. And if you want to learn watercolor essentials in a relaxing way, check out my online course for beginners. There are lots of simple and fun projects to follow at your own pace. I'm Nan, a miniature watercolor addict. See you next time.